Russia is monitoring the wreckage of 2 communication satellites that have crashed in space. The Russian and American crafts collided over Siberia. NASA says neither the Earth nor the International Space Station are at risk from the debris.
The anticipation was already mounting. When 2 satellites collide, one huge mess is made. A surprise? Not quite, considering that over 52 years, more than 6,000 satellites have been launched, some even having nuclear isotopes on board, most which are Russian and American. And so space may have gotten a bit too congested.
This is the first time in history that something like this happened. Why?
Because there's been predictions for a long time that sooner or later 2 satellites or 2 orbiting objects would just crash into each other. This could be a signature event in the history of the space debris problem.
So what really happened up there?
Both the Russian Cosmos satellite and the Iridium communications satellite were traveling about 17,500 miles per hour. And when 2 objects are traveling at that speed and collide, you can imagine the force and energy and the amount of debris of all sizes that's created.
Though the loss of one satellite is pretty insignificant, the repercussions of this particular collision could create consequences of a different, more dangerous type of matter, one in which expanding debris zones could create a threat in space.
Both Russian and American experts agree that this spatial clutter could create unprecedented complications.
Collision like this, I mean, the biggest problem is that it creates a cloud of debris. And that cloud of debris over time disperses around the orbit, and so you've kind of magnified the problem. Now you've got a whole bunch of little bits and pieces in space, which could all collide with something else.
This is a serious problem that gets worse by the year. The amount of space junk is increasing. Eventually, it will clutter Earth's orbit to such a degree that active satellites would only be able to operate for short periods of time without fear of collision.
And the fear of future collision is made more complicated by the fact that this kind of clutter is not so easy to just dust off. Dina Gosovsky, RT, Washington, D.C.